This is the Pod Company Ice Pod Pro. This is an at-home, budget-friendly cold plunge that is just a couple $100 tub that all you have to do is just add some water, get in. They have different size Ice Pod longer tubs. They offer all sorts of accessories, and I'm gonna share with you my experience doing this every day for the last 30 days in a row, how it's changed my life, and what you need to consider going forward when you make this purchase. Let's check it out. Hey guys, this is Michael with the Jungle Gym Reviews. Today I'm reviewing the Pod Company's Ice Pod Pro version. I'm a 6'2" guy. I fit pretty comfortably in it. They do offer a couple other sizes, including the long pod, which is a little bit longer and allows you to kind of lay and sit back. This one is their flagship offering, and it's honestly pretty great for what it is. It literally is just a inflatable rubber / PVC type plastic, and you literally just fill it with water, and it's your very cheap at-home cold plunge. So the cool thing about this is it really only cost like $150, $200 for the tub itself. And as I mentioned, you just fill it with water, and obviously you have to do some things like either add ice to it, make sure the water's cold enough, keep the water clean and stuff like that. But at a base level, it's a super affordable entry-level way for everyone to get into cold plunging without really breaking the bank, because cold plunging is not really for everyone. So I received the version that has the chiller, as you'll see. Oh yeah, it's cold right there. And the chiller essentially is a motorized pump that has two valves inside of here, one that sucks the water in, one that puts it back into the tub. So it circulates the water, A, but B, keeps the water as cold as the set temperature that you put on it. In my case, I like to keep it around 45 to 50. I'll be honest, 50 is pretty ideal for me. But here in the Michigan weather, it kind of stays about 55 by itself without that. So I do keep it running, and I plan to turn it off as we come down into the really cold weather here, because it won't be needed anymore just to keep it cold. But it is nice because it filters and circulates the water. You will see the built-in filter there, and I will talk about that separately as far as some of the maintenance. In addition to the review of how well this actually works from a product physical standpoint, I did actually wanted to go into as well my own testimonial and personal experience for using this every day 30 days in a row. Now, I've never done any sort of cold plunging or cold therapy or anything like this, so I went into it with a very open mind and just figured the worst case is I'd just be very cold and very miserable for 30 days, and the best case is I notice something happens. So here I'm going to share with you my experience. All right, so today is the last day of the challenge. It's been something. To be transparent, I don't know if I'll continue, strictly because I'm a little princess, because I don't like getting out of my bed and coming outside, especially when it's cold outside here in Michigan. It's really rough to do. Although, I will say, I've seen 1000% better blood glucose control for me. And for me, that's huge because I have hypoglycemia that happens on a near daily basis. Since doing the cold plunge, I have not had a single episode nearly since like day 3. As I've mentioned in previous videos, when I do the cold plunge, my blood sugar drops a little bit, as I would expect is normal for most people, as your body tries to shuffle glucose to other areas, keep your body warm, alive, etc. And then the rest of the day, perfect. My blood sugar is, perfectly in control. Some of the other issues I was hoping it might impact, and it has in slight capacities, is my Raynaud's, which is my blood flow and circulation to my fingers. When I'm here in the water, they actually kind of ache and hurt right now. And immediately after, my fingers do go a little white due to, again, the sensitivity to the cold and my blood vessels constricting. But then the rest of the day, my overall body and my hands and everything's sensitivity and ability to adapt to the cold is significantly improved. I wouldn't say it's gone away, but, definitely improved. Overall, my mental clarity for sure has been better. I could see how some of that could be placebo, but honestly, like every day I've done this, whether it's from emotional or mental effect of like, hey, I did something hard and I did something challenging and now the rest of the day is going to be easier, or I'm assuming there's also the, physical chemical aspects of whatever brain body interactions you're having, whatever blood flow, however it gets shuffled to your brain when you have cold exposure. I'm curious to see now, as I maybe take a few days off, if I really notice anything. I for sure am going to keep this. I'm for sure going to keep cold plunging. The ice pod here has been perfect for my needs because it's super small, super minimal, not very expensive, easy to clean. They have all the tools and everything you need in order to keep this thing clean, going, maintained. So my only complaint really is I wish it was bigger because I'm 6'2" and I'm sitting crisscross applesauce here with my knees kind of jammed up against the front. It's definitely big enough for people who are up to, 6'5". But as you see here, I always like to get up to my neck, up to my shoulders. So I would like something personally a little bit bigger. But again, as an entry into cold plunge and as a super cheap but effective option, this thing is just great and it can't be beat. All right, it's been a great 30 days. I hope you guys can enjoy it too. I'm going to get this dunking and we'll see you then. So I have it emptied because it's about that couple week period where it starts to get a little gross, even with the filter and all that built into it. So what I did is simply I emptied it. Actually, if you look here, there's actually a plug on the bottom. You stick your hand in the normally very cold water. You simply just lift up that plug and it drains right out. It's actually nice because it doesn't drain out super heavily. It'll drain out kind of slowly at a time. So that way you're not just waterlogging, whatever the surface is. When you do go to clean it, you do have this filter cover and this screw that comes off. They tell you to take it off every 2 weeks. Run it with warm water and that it should last a month. I did it for about 2 weeks and this is what it looks like. Pretty much as soon as you hit that 2-week mark, overnight the water will go from just fine to kind of gross and moldy and mildew or whatever smelling like a little pond. You pretty much know it's the time to change it. I don't think these filters last as long as they say they're going to. I think they're supposed to last a couple months, but in reality, I would actually recommend cleaning the filter once a week and probably changing the filter once every 2 weeks. And that's even with the added water stabilizer. So just know that you do have to do a little bit of maintenance, especially if you had this pod chiller. All right, so some of the included accessories with the package I had is this silicone scrub brush, this microfiber scrubby thing, and cleaner for the tub. Although I don't know how well this works. I've used this a couple of times. I've used these a couple of times. Honestly, there's so many nooks and crannies on here that it can't really quite get in the corners. Like if you take this scrub brush, I mean, I'm missing that full thing in the corner here. So when you buy this, I would suggest you just save your money and just use good old-fashioned dish soap that works for about everything. And if you get one of these like car wash, hand wash mitts on Amazon for like $7, you can keep rewashing it and this will get all the corners and stuff better. So that's what I would recommend. I would honestly say, yeah, the worst part in all this is really going to be the maintenance. I would really recommend doing this even if you have it inside, which obviously makes it a little bit more of a pain. Long story short, you just want to clean it every couple weeks. So have some way to get the water out, refill it up. And you just need to think about that depending on where you're going to put it. Would I tell you to get the extra $800 to $1,000 pod chiller? Honestly, probably not. They have some things on their website to where you can do pretty much the same thing without needing this fully powered on all the time electric water pump and cleaner. It does an okay job. Yeah, it circulates the water. The filter does okay. But honestly think you're better off just running the included water circulator fan that they have and just changing out the water every week or as you feel is needed. Overall, I've been very happy with the ice pod and I would definitely recommend it just even at a base level, $200, $150 entry level into cold plunge, and you can sort of build onto it over time. I would recommend it for most people who are interested just to get something like this at home. And again, you can try it out and see what works for you and see really how you want to stick with it or not long term. Oh, I'm starting to not be able to think. My body's like getting really cold. Might be getting like hypothermia at some point. So guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning into this review of the Pod Company's IcePod Pro. If you like this review, please subscribe to the channel to see many more coming like this in the near future. This is a little bit different than some of the other ones we do in the past that are strictly related to gym equipment, but I wanted to try something new because this is very much up the same alley. Again, I wanted to say thanks for tuning into this review. We'll see you next time. Take it easy. Peace.